Hey, it's Mike here from Michael S. Bell Fine Art. I haven't done a video in a while, so I wanted to share something that I'm learning with my Carbothello pencils. As you see, I have a handful of them, all my different values. It's hard finding a specific brown with these, so I'm having to basically glaze with these pencils. So here's the horse that I'm working on. Some of the areas that I noticed I'm having difficulty with and getting the values just right from my reference photo is some of these areas here. You notice there's, you go from a light to a dark. The area here seems a little more red in the reference photo than I have here. So basically what I'm doing is going over the areas just by glazing. All I'm doing is very lightly bringing in my values. It's kind of hard to see for me because I'm behind the camera. Just following the hair direction. And this horse, of course, we all know that horses, that they have a very short hair growth near the eyes, which is really hard to mimic. Actually, it's almost impossible unless you want to sit here and you can take a gray. This one here is a Carbothello. I believe it's a cold gray by the look of it. And if I wanted to sit here all day long doing these little dots to where the hair growth is, I'm sure I could get more of a realism to it. But for me, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in more the painterly look. So I just dabbed that Clairefontaine pastel mat. This happens to be one of the pieces that I had was this color here, so that's just what I used. I don't really, depending on the subject matter that I'm doing, depends on the background, but since I'm going to this background, the entire background is going to be completely covered, so I'm not really worried about it. So all I'm doing, like I said, is just coming over and glazing these areas. And I'm looking at the reference photo constantly, which is over there to my right, but very lightly. And when I say lightly, I mean like Bob Ross feather clouds lightly. He's one of my idols that got me started in art. After my back surgery, I needed something to do. So I know everybody does their pastels differently, and someone might say that no, that's not how you do it. But this is what works for me, and this would be something that you similarly do when oil painting. You would glaze to change your value. You would glaze with either a thinned out version or usually you just use a thinned out version of the paint you want. So all I'm doing is just glazing these areas, trying to get my values correct. As you see, this is kind of purple up here. I don't want that. I tried a different type of pencil and I didn't check it first, which was my fault. So one of the nice things about pastels or oil paintings is that you can change that. So let's say this purple here, I don't want that. I want it more of a brownish red. So all I have to do is I'm using another Carbothello. I don't know the names of the colors because Carbothello doesn't, they just have a number on them. So all I'm doing is just very lightly glazing over this. This helps change the value, or the tone, I should say, of the area. Just bring that in very lightly. And then this area under the eye, I want to get a little darker. So all I have to do is I have this on its side. It's not holding it like a pencil. I have it on its side almost like a paintbrush. So all I'm doing is very lightly just adding a little more. As you can see, it works in a flat instead of like if you were to do it a point, you're going to get some hard lines. It's going to be a little dark. So all I do is very lightly just work it from the side. It gives a softer look, I feel. And then with pastels, one of the nice things I like with pastels is that all I have to do is just push it down and wipe my finger off. And like that, we have it changed. So I'm going to go down to this area. Oh, let's see. we've done around the eye, and I'll come back to the eye at the end because I'm going to move my tracing paper around, which I use just to try and protect the area that I'm working. Just go down to this area here. Oh, that's the brown. Yeah, we can use that. That's fine. So all I'm going to do is just very lightly change the value of this. And I noticed in my reference pictures, it has some kind of, it almost seems like a purple and a white, or a light gray. So all I'm doing now is just getting the darker underlay